to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Do you desire to belong to a community of unity? Visit KOGpassion.com to learn more about the Unleash Your Dopeness movement.
Welcome back to another episode of Intermission. I'm your host, Jarvis Ziggy Newsom. You can find me on Instagram at Ziggy the Lionhearted. You can find me on Twitter at Ziggy Lionheart. And joining me, we don't have Howard Jerome. Excuse me, I don't know what the hell that was. But we don't have Howard Jerome. But we got one of our best guest hosts, always, from the podcast Fish and Grits, Marcus Griffin.
How y'all doing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. My camera messed up.
No. Yeah, it's
but
good.
Yeah, it's always good to come back and talk about some good old movies.
Yeah, and this is your first time in the new studio.
Yeah, it's my first time. It's nice.
Yeah.
I feel welcome. Give me a bottle of water. I feel good.
Yeah, we're in the Weasley studio. Just to let y'all know, we're back in Weasley, but we'll be back in the main ones too. But yeah, man, what's been going on?
Nothing, man. Just trying to grow the podcast, going in 2018 with a fresher mind, trying to see what else we could do different.
Yeah, man. I'm pretty sure y'all got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Man, because football season is at its peak right now, and
right.
NBA about to start popping off. LeBron James and the Cavs is struggling, and
Jason Kidd
just got the boot. It's about time. About time. Average. Just been average.
Yeah, man.
And then we're a month away from the greatest movie that's gonna come out in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Less than a month.
Woo!
It's
gonna be beautiful, man. Black Panther is gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be so awesome. If y'all don't know about this movie, like seriously, you have not been paying attention to it
at all.
Seriously,
at all.
Like, I'm buying advance tickets for 2 different showings. Just to let y'all know.
I got my IMAX show. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, man.
I kind of want to call up Ryan Coogler and be like, man, do you mind just dropping giving me a DVD copy of that? Just drop it in my mailbox so I can go ahead and screen it for you and just give you the okay, man.
Let me get that director's cut. All 4 hours.
Really? Because I heard it was 4 hours, man.
He shot 4 hours.
I'll take 4 hours of that.
I would too. And I like what he said. I like what he said. He's like, this is gonna be more of the Bond of the MCU.
I mean, he comes off that way when they do the clips of when he's walking or when he's entering a room with his guards. It gives that vibe of that. And he would play a pretty awesome James Bond if he wanted to.
He would. I mean, it's just we've been waiting on this. This is just this year. We're in 2018, and we were talking about this at the end of the last year. Like 2018 is about to be ridiculous.
As soon as he got cast, Chadwick Boseman, when he got cast, I was just like, this movie needs to hurry up and be fast tracked because he's the perfect Black Panther because he gives you the suave side of him, then he also gives the king side,
right?
And he also gives that
physical side. He's able to get physical. He has no problem bulking up for a role. I saw that in what's that movie? It's Kevin Costner where he's playing like Cleveland Browns.
42? No, that's not it.
He's playing like the Cleveland Browns manager. It's some movie with Kevin Costner. Draft Day.
Okay.
Yeah, and
he's in there?
Yeah, he plays one of the prospects.
Dang, man, Chadwick been low-key been getting a lot of good work.
Right, and in that movie, he's bulked up. Mm-hmm. Like, he's playing, I think, a linebacker.
Well, you should. Oh, well, he got the perfect build for one.
Right.
So, there you go. Throw him in that Black Panther suit.
Right.
Let's go ahead and save Wakanda.
Exactly, man. And I put it on Instagram with those of you who actually follow me on Instagram. I was like, if James Earl Jones, Eddie Murphy, and Arsenio Hall showed up to that premiere,
that would be funny.
I would be like, dude.
It's fresh from Zamunda.
Zamunda grease you. Whatever you like.
I mean, that's a movie they should have already made a sequel to. I feel like Coming to America deserved one, just like his African family coming to the U.S. and getting acclimated and them dealing with stuff. That would have been perfect.
Well, he said he's working on a script for a sequel.
He took too long for that one.
I don't think so, because you know what? I got an idea of where they may go.
Where
his son goes to college in America.
Man, I hope it's not like a Disney, like, slapstick, you know.
That's what I hope.
That's what I don't want.
I need
I need some maturity. I need a little bit of maturity.
Yeah, you know, like the old Eddie Murphy. I mean, give me that Coming to America, Harlem Nights,
Man, do you think Eddie Murphy still has that comedy in him? Because he's been kind of milling it in the last couple of movies.
I don't want. It's one of those things you don't.
He seems like when he made that movie, what was it, Meet Dave? When he was a robot or an alien and he had the people living inside of him with Kevin Hart played in there and Gabrielle Union. See, it's probably so bad you don't even remember that movie.
I remember. He's got a few of those.
He did that movie, then he came back with Dreamgirls, but then it was just like, then he started.
And then he had 1,000 Words or something.
I actually enjoyed that movie.
It wasn't bad, but
I liked it for what it's worth.
You got to draw to pull anyone you want. Like,
he needs a TV show.
Like, I don't think so. I think he needs a miniseries. I'll give him that.
I'll give him a miniseries. Eddie, he just needs to get his name back out there, just get some confidence under his belt. I know he hosted like Saturday Night Live, what was that, a couple of years ago, didn't go so well. But I just think he just needs something that just brings that Eddie Murphy back that we all know and love.
And I'm like, if you do a movie, you know, all you got to do is just call anyone, black or white.
True.
And they're like, hey, I got this project. I can take a couple of months off, or I can work some with the studio and come work with you.
Well, think about this. Now you said Coming to America and dealing with his child or whatnot. Yeah. What if you did like a Coming to America Netflix series dealing with that, and he would be in and out, and it would be kind of, no.
I actually like that idea.
I mean, that'd be interesting. I mean, just everybody's making a banking
with Netflix.
Mm-hmm, so you might as well get in there and get your
Sorry,
bag.
Monique.
Oh, yeah. Monique didn't get that bag. She got half the bag and was still complaining.
Oh, my gosh. I'm like, 500,000?
500,000. People complain about 500,000.
I'm pretty sure D-Ray didn't get that.
Nah, he probably got 100K.
And was happy to
and probably got what? If Monique, what she should have did was, if I was Netflix, I would probably try to do like a $500,000 and see if I can get paid in the back end. If like the special end up really blowing up and really getting a lot of win or whatnot.
I'll do the second one for $3 to $4 million.
No, there you go. See, there you go.
Do it like that.
But she ain't gonna do that.
No, because she's. Oh, how do you call yourself the most decorated comedian?
That's what blew my mind when she came out and she said she's the most decorated comedian of time because you got an Oscar.
And the Oscar wasn't even for nothing comedic.
And I'm just like, you barely played the dramatic role. Really, you did okay.
Right.
I've seen better, but I mean,
I'm sorry. There's only one comedian and the only black woman who has an EGOT. EGOT. That's only 12 people have ever done EGOTs. Mm-hmm. And a black female comedian has done it, and that's Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah. Hey, man, Whoopi held it down for a long time.
Right. She's got an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony.
She deserved it all.
I'm like,
that's the most decorated.
You're the most decorated? Get the fuck out of here.
She barely got any of those sticking pins on her. What's the talking about?
Exactly.
What has Monique done of late? Nothing.
Like, I saw that, I immediately went to Netflix and started watching comedians in cars drinking coffee. I was like, I'm not boycotting shit. Screw you.
If you didn't make it on there, then you ain't good enough to get a Netflix series. Right. Because that coffee's in, what was it called again?
Comedians in cars drinking coffee.
I mean, Jerry Seinfeld has all the good people on there.
Right.
That's a good concept if you think about it.
It is. I hope he doesn't get another season.
I just don't like Jerry Seinfeld. It's just the way he talks just always throws me off. It just sounds so. Every time my son likes watching the B movie, so he plays the voice of the main B. So every time he talks, all I think is that B, and I'm just like, get out of my head.
Actually, I like Seinfeld. I used to watch Seinfeld.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That was just one show that just missed me. It was like
there was that whole little sect of shows from MCs like Seinfeld, Friends. It was like a couple of more shows.
See, I got the Friends. I even watched.
I couldn't watch Friends because I knew they stole that concept from Living Single.
Oh, they did. I mean, yeah, they did. Because, man, I never even thought about that.
Living Single came out first.
If you want to be truthful, they did.
Yeah. It was Living Single.
They stole it. They draked it. They draked it.
It was appropriated.
But I like Friends. I mean, Friends is okay for what it is. I think
It was.
the person who made it in life is the person who kind of sold the show, and that was Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
Like, she was the most captivating thing about that show. And I'm not talking about looks. It's just she had the it factor that you didn't mind to tune in and watch and see what was going on and her interaction, stuff like that. Everybody else is just a wash.
Right. Very true. Well, I think Joey gave so much comic relief to it.
He was good, but he was like corny funny to me. And I'm just like, I was in a time where when that UPN started to take off and we had Moesha and all the good black shows coming on, we were just like, ooh, what is this over here?
Like, Monique's biggest relevance pretty much was the Parker.
If you want to be honest, that is what she's known for, Nikki Parker.
Yeah, so, like.
And Precious, and, I mean, look, isn't that crazy that Monique couldn't even get a role after winning the Oscar for Precious, but Gabrielle Sidibe is still having acting roles when she was in some show on Showtime. She was on Empire, on movies. And it's like, what are you doing, Monique?
Like, we know, like, you sat there and I'm like, you can't be ungrateful.
I don't think she's humble. I just think she needs to be humble. I mean, it kind of shows. She kind of gives off the demeanor like I'm the shit or whatnot, and you know, my shit don't stink or whatnot.
And she truly believes it. So I was like, hey, I know it's one thing to be confident, but there's a thin line between confidence and arrogance. Oh
man, she's past it, man. Only arrogant person that I need to be hearing from is Aaron Rodgers. That's the only arrogant person I need to hear from.
You know, I'm a Packers fan anyway.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Hey.
Whew. That list you posted with
Colin Coward. Man, I try not to. Him and Nick Wright, man. Both of them they buzz me a little bit the wrong way.
Yeah.
They get on my nerve, honestly, but yeah, Monique's got to humble herself. But man, Netflix has really been killing it. That Dave Chappelle comedy or stand up was.
I still haven't watched the last one.
You haven't watched the second one?
Well, it's 4 in all.
Mm-hmm.
So in the second set, I watched the first one. I've watched the third one. I haven't watched the last.
Okay, so the one was more of an intimate setting, more of a comedian club, we going up there to what's that over there by the Marquis Stadium?
Improv.
There you go. It's like going to the Improv and watching.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one.
Now that one is best in my opinion.
Okay, that's the one I need to watch. Because here's the thing with the third one, because I went to see Dave Chappelle when he came here in May last year. One of the best shows I've ever been to, naturally. Because he talks about this in the specials. Most people don't notice if you didn't go or wasn't paying attention. He takes your phone and locks it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But the thing is, you have your phone. It's just in a pouch.
Oh, so it's just locked up on the side of you.
It's in a pouch.
Okay, well, I can get with that.
And when you leave, they go unlock it.
Okay, well, I can get down with that because I know I went to a premiere sometime I think I saw X-Men, and they took my phone and just left it with a whole bunch of pile of other phones. And we had like a sticky note on there to say, this is Marcus's phone. I'm like, it's kind of sketchy.
Yeah. Well, most early screenings I go to do that.
Oh, well, I haven't been to early screenings since then. You see why?
Yeah. But he did it, and it's not because he doesn't want anyone bootlegging it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was like, what he said at the special, like, niggas will find a way.
Oh, they're going to find a way. Got a secret camera recorder, glasses on, got them James Bond on.
Right. But he was like, I want y'all to disconnect from your phone for my show.
Yeah, and be kind of immersed in the atmosphere.
Right. You're like, you can't come to a comedy show and be on your phone. You're not engaged.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. It gave that feel, and you could tell because he'll be up there smoking. I think he was smoking literally the whole show because he was kind of intimate. I really liked it. I thought it was pretty fun. He was very personal on that one.
Like I said, Netflix right now to me with the comedy specials, the documentaries, and a lot of shows. Like I know a lot of people like She's Gotta Have It. Here's the thing. I wanted to like it. I'm going to try to give it another shot. It's just that Spike Lee's way of storytelling now.
It's so unorthodox.
It's not even. It's just like a lot of it. You'd be like, what was the purpose of that?
Yeah, he had a bunch of scenes like that because, especially in the first 3 episodes, were kind of a good standout. But it seemed like it lost its footing around like the 5th episode. Yeah, and it was just like, what are you going for? Like, I understand the message that you're doing, but I feel like it could have been done so much better.
Right. I mean, and you got, like I said, you got these comedy specials. I mean, we talked about Dave and Chris. Mm-hmm. We know Amy Schumer. But there's a lot of... Hey, Cat Williams just dropped one.
I wonder how much he got for his. That's what's really surprising because he's fishing for dollars. And I just wonder how much... Did he take his $500K and be quiet?
Who knows? But speaking of fishing for dollars, This portion of the show is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. Did you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? 33% of Americans don't pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month. And 39% of adults say they don't have enough savings. Don't become one of these statistics. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463 or email us at info@houstonhousewivesoffinance.com. Ask us how you can participate in a complimentary financial literacy workshop near you. Houston Housewives of Finance are the new faces of the new age of financial services. But yeah, I mean, I think Cat, he probably just took the money and be like, look, y'all want to give me $500,000? I'm gonna work this bitch.
I didn't even watch it. I heard it wasn't that funny, but I
actually heard he did pretty well.
Okay, so now you make me want to watch it.
I've
heard the negative.
Like, I've been hearing, like, people been like, yo, Cat actually had a pretty decent stand-up.
He's one of my favorite comedians of recent, honestly, if you want to, because he doesn't play safe, and that's the type of comedian that I kind of gravitate to, the person that kind of stays outside of the lines and not cookie cutter. Like Kevin Hart is very cookie cutter. It's like, I'm not gonna step on anybody's toes because I don't want to step on my toes. But I like those comedians that push the envelope. I
like D-Ray.
I ain't been a fan of D-Ray, but I heard that he is good.
He's good. Like I said, that's one of the cool things about with the improv, because one, you're not gonna spend that much money to go there.
True.
So that's how I ended up started going. Because like, even when I was single, I'll be like, look, man, I ain't got nothing to do. I'll call up a friend and be like, hey, you know what? Ain't nothing going on. Ain't nothing popping. So-and-so's at the improv. And they still take stuff. You want to roll? You want to grab a few people? Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, well, yeah. I haven't done that.
And that's how we did it. And I actually saw a lot of them.
I saw Ralphie May, rip.
I did, too. I saw Ralphie May like that.
He was funny, man. That dude right there, that dude was holding it on.
Speaking of R.I.P., today's the actual 10-year anniversary of Heath Ledger's death.
That's really sad, man, because that dude was on the up and up, and just to show that. See, and people laugh at actors and actresses about them making so much money, but the work they have to put in to play some of these roles, it kind of does take toll. You got to take time away from family. Then on top of that, then you're sacrificing your time, your leisures. Yeah, you're getting paid, but then you have to pay your agents. You got to pay all these other
fitness. Like we're just talking about regular movies. Like when these superhero guys, they have to pay for dietitians. They have to pay trainers. They have to. I mean, they got people having to move in and live with them just to make sure they stay unfit. I mean. They move their family. Some of these times they like, okay, so for the Avengers, I was reading one time that they were talking about, I think it was Robert Downey Jr. He had moved because he was doing Spider-Man and then he was doing the Avengers. So he uprooted his family and put them over there in Atlanta. Yeah. So they were just literally just living life over there in Atlanta. That's expensive, but and they probably still there because they just finished Avengers 4. So they were probably still there.
Yeah, I really do. I really appreciate when an actor just goes to that level, like what Heath Ledger did. I'm sad that he, his life was lost because of that.
Right.
But it shows in the performance. It shows in the actual material, and it communicates well. Don't half-ass it like a lot of these people do when they come in to make movies and they mail it in, a la the dude that played Malekith on Thor: The Dark World. And he's actually a good actor. And that's what blows my mind. Or what's his name? Hugo Weaving when he played Red Skull, and he didn't mail it in.
I don't think he mailed that in.
I think he could have done better, but
I think he could have done better. But I think that was probably one of those weird spots for him.
True, because he was on the high, man. That dude.
This guy was Aaron.
Oh yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Transformers, because he's Megatron. V for Vendetta.
There you go. Wolfman, he was in there.
Yeah.
He was on the highest eyes, man. He was killing it.
I'm like, Hugo Weaving was just killing.
Man, he was killing
everything.
Man. That dude right there. For the longest, I was like, there was no wrong that he could do in my eyes. It was like him and Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
They were just in everything, and they were just so older gentlemen, but they were in these blockbuster movies, and I just
Hey, they were making it work, man. They were making it work.
But yeah, it's sad that Heath Ledger had to go, but man, that performance is still to this day. It's probably still to today one of the greatest movies ever made.
And I'm gonna probably put it in a group, the Facebook group. But I'm gonna put it on my Instagram. I'll probably put it on the Intermission Instagram. I'm gonna make it tonight. I'm gonna take probably a good 15 postpartum actors. I'm like, pick 3 you would want to come back and make another movie with.
So ones that have passed already?
Yeah.
So mine would have to be...
You gotta think 2017 killed a lot of people. So
It did. But there's one person I would always want Robin Williams to come back. He was my favorite.
I want Philip Seymour Hoffman.
I would like Philip Seymour Hoffman. He held it down, man.
Man.
That dude right there was a gentleman's gentleman, man.
Man.
He was the type of actor that people overlooked at times, and they didn't give him enough credit because he wasn't the most handsomest man or the best in shape or something like that.
Or he wasn't doing for volume. He picked his movies at his pace.
He was a Daniel Day-Lewis person. He was one of those picked his roles accordingly, and not just for a paycheck. So.
Right.
That's a good question. I don't know who else died.
Alan Rickman.
I liked Alan Rickman, but I wasn't checking for no Alan Rickman movie.
Nah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
He deserved a TV show, man. That dude has a comedy chops that would be perfect for a TV show.
Honestly, I just want him to speak because his voice is so...
His voice is commanding.
Yeah, his voice is so unique. He's like Benedict Cumberbatch.
That's true.
Like, when you hear them talk, you know it's them. But it's Carrie Fisher. I don't need...
Speaking of Carrie Fisher,
yeah.
I didn't... Did you say you like Star Wars or Howard didn't like Star Wars?
I tell you,
which one was it?
we finna get into that.
Okay, we need to talk about
But
that.
this is gonna bring the end to our Facebook Live discussion. So thank you for watching. Sorry I couldn't really pay attention to you guys. Like I said, I was having issues with my phone. Oh, now what's up? Real okay, but all y'all watching, or even if you're watching this after we're live, make sure you subscribe to our show on all major platforms, which is iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and coming soon, Spotify. If you're on iTunes, make sure you give us a review. Give us some feedback. You know, I really do like this idea of the post. I may just set it up as a series.
Mm-hmm.
Just may pick 15 actors one week, 15 actors next week.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that might be.
I'll share that.
Yeah, that might be a series we might start doing. And but yeah, if you're on iTunes, give us some feedback. Tell me what you think about this. If you got some actors in mind, because like I said, a lot of actors have passed away.
Because I'll post that in the Fish and Grits group page.
Okay,
that'd be a good discussion if you could tag on to.
Yeah, and if you're watching this, we also ask that you share this Facebook Live post. Yeah, I'm just now getting the messages. What's up, Clinton? Konnichiwa. You know, we see you over there in Japan. Appreciate it. But share this post, you know, with your families, with your friends. You know, this is really just discussion. We have a bunch of good ideas. You know, we like to include everybody as possible. Lastly, we told you about how expensive 2018 is about to be. And, you know, we actually like to go to movies with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually donate and help us do that. You can go to thesphere.tv/donate. You can do a one-time donation, or you can go on a monthly donation on Patreon. And it just helps us pay for stuff for like the tickets and the refreshments, because we do bring refreshments that's not always sold in the movie theater. So, because hint, because we're all adults. So it's one of those things. It just helps us out. We're probably going to do that for Ready Player One. We wouldn't be able to do the Black Panther. Just that hype's too big. But for Ready Player One, I think that would be a good idea.
Down for that one.
And it'll probably be a 3D show. We'll probably do it for the 3D showing.
That'll be my first 3D movie I've seen since Avatar.
I think it's going to be worth it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Especially just for what Steven Spielberg is going to bring.
Right. So thanks for checking us out on Facebook. We're going to continue this discussion. Let me tell him really about this Star Wars and what I thought about it. So yes. Okay, Star Wars.
I really want to hear what you got to say about this.
I call it a really good movie, but it had potential to be great.
It did have potential to be great,
and it didn't.
Especially in the finale.
It just couldn't do it.
It was so bad. It wasn't bad. It was just.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a bad movie. I just can't call it a great movie.
I'm gonna be honest with you. So I feel like I can consider myself a Star Wars fanatic because I watch the movies, the cartoons, the comics, and all that. Even though they redid everything and kind of,
I still hate that.
I personally feel that the movies have not lived up to the lore. It's like the lore of Star Wars is better than the movies.
It is,
and that's the thing that makes me so mad, because when I watch like Lord of the Rings, I feel like the movies lived up to the lore. Game of Thrones, it lived up. Harry Potter, they lived up to what's being told. But it's like Star Wars, like I feel like the cartoons get it right to me.
Right,
the cartoons really get it right. Star Wars, I know they're trying to do that weren't they trying to do a live action TV show for Star Wars?
I think so. I can't remember.
It's all going. This is going to be the seller. How Han Solo does and how that looks.
Well, see, Disney's already bracing for that movie to bomb.
Really, man? Why do you think these? You think so?
Yeah, it's a report out.
Did you like Rogue One?
I like Rogue One.
I love Rogue One. I think Rogue One is like really criminally underrated.
It really is.
Like I think it's not to most people it's not the greatest Star Wars movie, but just from a pure entertaining film, start to finish, that film is pretty amazing.
It's very entertaining. And here's the thing: like I think Disney got this thing. They want to put a movie out every year. You have to get away from that.
Yeah, they can't because you can make money
because you're going to oversaturate.
You're going to oversaturate the market. Yeah.
They do this one where we was gonna do a Star Wars and we do something else. We're gonna do a Star Wars and we do something else. I'm like, after Solo, so what do y'all have planned?
They can do that, honestly. They can do that now. Now they got
that's
a lot of the Fox property. They got Planet of the Apes coming in.
Yeah.
They have
well, I mean, Planet of the Apes, well, I don't know if
they're getting aliens.
I hope they don't continue to Planet of the Apes. Did you see the last
You didn't like it?
Did you see the last one?
Yes.
I loved it.
I thought it was phenomenal.
But that's where I want it to end.
I want it to be a TV show now. I want it to be like, okay, I know this is my idea, and this is what I was doing. I was talking to my girlfriend one day, and we were sitting on the couch, and we were having this conversation. And right after Planet of the Apes, I was like, man, this is a really good reboot series. Like, this is probably one of the better ones, just like how Batman was. But I was like, wouldn't it be awesome now if now that Disney owns all these properties and they want to kind of split off and do their own streaming service, if they got a Planet of the Apes TV series and you get that popping off, because you can do it for the low.
You can.
You could do it. That would be interesting, just so or you want to just do it for a movie.
The hardest thing is makeup.
They're going to do, they're going to make that as a theme park. It's going to be apes running all around Disney.
Of course.
So I'm going to be looking forward to that.
I mean, it's so many different things you could do. They can.
I don't need a Star Wars every year. I really don't. I don't think the demand calls for it.
The crazy thing is, I didn't want a Solo movie. There's only two off movies off the Skywalker line that I really wanted, and there's no discussion. Well, there's one starting to get discussion. I want the Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I do want an Obi-Wan Kenobi,
and I need a movie about the Mandalorians.
I wouldn't mind that.
Because for Boba and Jango to have such sort of small screen time, they are some of the most memorable characters.
They are, and they didn't give enough. They didn't get enough justification because in what's that? You watch Star Wars Rebels, the TV show?
I used to.
That show right now, what they're doing is they're dealing with more with the Thrawn right now. And that he has the presence for a great Star Wars film, but they're not going to do it for whatever reason. Disney thinks it's going to go over everybody's head.
No, I'm like, or someone brought the idea was like, if y'all afraid of being like too much in the current time, like go back to the old Republic.
And that would be nice. Go back to before the Lukes and all that.
Before
that would really be. Now, I would really be in. Now, if you do that and you crank one of those out of you, now I really be pumped for that.
When the Mandalorians were going at it, or what was the game? Rise of the Fallen Empire with the two twins.
I know what you're talking about the second game.
Because one of the twins, he got half the face.
That's when RPG's games was at they highest, man.
Yeah.
RPG was going, ooh, man, I was a king of RPG games.
Because you remember the two boys, they were Force users, but they were killing Jedis and Sith.
So I think that'd be awesome, them to take it back and reestablish that, because you can really add a grit to those films that they're missing. And
that was one of the things I hated about Last Jedi, because Snoke gave hints of it. He was like, I've known the Force for thousands of years. I'm like, that was a gateway. If we got to know more about Snoke, that was a gateway for us to learn about the old Republic.
And he died so just, ugh.
It was just like, we didn't know nothing really about Snoke.
We knew nothing about him. He was like a carbon copy of the Emperor, really.
So I just like, that was just...
It was a waste. There was a lot of missed opportunities in that movie, and that's the whole thing. That's the problem with those movies is I look at their films and I'm like, man, you could have did this better, or you could. Rogue One is the only one that I really listen. I mean, besides the old movie that I watched, and I was just like, you know what? I really appreciate that film and what it brought to me.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm one of the few. I enjoyed The Force Awakens.
I enjoyed it for what it was, but I still feel like it was
a copy
of the first, of like A New Hope.
It is.
It had the same I want to say the same beats kind of.
Yeah. But one of the things, and this will be one of the last things I talk about with Star Wars is, me and Harold were talking about this. As much shit the prequels get, they did have absolutely the best bad guys.
They did, because Darth Maul, man, that dude.
Maul, Grievous,
even Dooku.
Dooku
was entertaining.
Yes.
I mean, they could have done more with Django, but they didn't.
They did a little bit, but they didn't. But I mean, it was just so much better with their villains.
I don't know about you, and I know how everybody loves Star Wars and they love the new movies and they're making all this money. But it's just the feeling that I got, as crappy as Phantom Menace was, just that the lightsaber battles, just that music, just the themes of that movie just really pumped me up. The Duels of Fate soundtrack, I
got that on my phone.
That's legendary, man. That get me pumped up.
Dude, to see Darth Maul sit there, take out the rope, and you saw the one
Then
side, then you saw the other side.
I was like, oh man.
I've never seen this before in my life. This is what I'm here for.
And when I saw Kylo Ren, I was like, okay, well, you got a scatterly blade or whatever. It's just, I was like,
yeah.
I do like him. I like Donald Driver, but I just like,
yeah.
I need more. I want more of the lore of the Jedi. I want more of the backstory. I want to know, how do we get to this point where, the Empire's really started to go into crumbles.
Right. I mean, it was so much like we said, it's so much missed opportunity, man.
They could have done better.
Like Howard said it best. It felt like this was written by teenage fans.
Fan service.
Yeah, and they saw stuff in other movies and was like, we'll put it in this movie.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, I like that. I can see that.
Speaking of other missed opportunities, this is a company we was discussing before the show. So I did see Black Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
I know. And it's a good show. Don't get me wrong. It's a good show. The only thing is, like, the writing and the nuances of it automatically make me think of Luke Cage.
It is, but
with more education and more family.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing.
See, and this is and this is how I wanted Luke Cage to be more. It felt like Luke Cage was more of a it was like Luke Cage was trying to have the 70s settings in a modern day era.
Right.
That's what threw me off. And I like it how this was a more of a modern setting. And that's what I wanted. And like you said, I like the family aspect of Black Lightning. Yeah. And then people really his powers was pretty legit.
He is, but like the scene where he uses powers, I'm like,
it's very cheesy. It's cheesy. It's
like,
TV.
If I got lightning powers, I'm not.
How am I picking you up? I'm about to put a hole in you.
I'm not finna have a fist fight.
They said that he has like his powers. He can control them where he can. I guess he can use them to amplify his strength, and he can stun people and stuff like that. I wish that was kind of fleshed out, or how if he can shoot somebody with a lightning bolt, he can kill them, or he has to dial it back. But who knows what DC's doing? I don't know what they're doing.
So, and I honestly felt this was another missed opportunity because I honestly feel, and this only the comic book people really gonna catch this, unless some of y'all remember this cartoon. I felt it should have been Static.
Static would have been nice. It would have been nice to see Virgil, a nice teenage kind of you dealing with your powers and you dealing
with the social.
Social
we
life.
could have had this whole social commentary.
Oh, it would have been really nice
from a younger perspective.
That is nice. He could have been using the Facebook Live or whatever. Right. Was he secret with his powers?
Yeah.
Okay, then maybe he wouldn't use Facebook Live.
He wouldn't be using. Well, I think they both had their own personalities.
Yeah, that's true.
But like the beginning of Black Lightning, the whole incident with the police.
Yeah, I would enjoy
that.
Now,
imagine that incident from a younger male's perspective.
That's true. I would have liked that too. Him actually going through that,
right?
Or him actually being in a situation where the police did use violence and stuff like that, and his powers kind of slipping out and stuff like that. And that would have been awesome. Like he first get turned into Static, and he really don't know what's going on, and that was his first time his powers kind of jolt. Hey, that would have been nice,
right? And it would have been cool to see it because, like I said, we have that sort of patriarch of the neighborhood kind of figure with Luke Cage or whatever. And you get that same kind of feeling with Black Lightning. It would be different to have that feel with Static because he's not the guy looking over the neighborhood. He's the kid just trying to do right.
Man, that would be an awesome concept for a movie. If DC was really smart, I would take what I saw from Black Lightning and what they just heard from this podcast,
Right.
mix that together, and you got your movie. That you can combat Black Panther right there with that movie. You can drop that, and you know, black kids gonna sign up for that movie.
I would, and here's the thing: I would make that movie. I would drop it in September.
In September, I would drop it in February. Just that Black Panther, that whole Black History Month phase.
True, but I would want to keep. I would want to ride the high from the summer when people get burnt out.
That's true, and then you had this movie,
And I will make it as much as I would want a black director. I like what happened with Logan.
I did like it, the dark route it took.
Right, so take the serious route with it. Have some comedy in it because Logan still had funny moments in it. But take and realize this is a kid who's like living in a very racial America.
If you want to be honest about it, Static Shock is basically Spider-Man, but in the hood. That's all it is, really, because it's kids dealing with just problems.
Right.
And that would have been a perfect trailer, just like it sets, and it's like a kid being pulled over by the cops, and he getting out the car, and then it gets physical, and then his powers kind of go off, and you be like, oh, shit, what's going on?
Right.
Hey, that'd be deep.
So, I mean, as dope as that is, this portion of the show is sponsored by KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Unleash Your Dopeness is a people empowerment movement built to encourage the masses to operate outside of their fears and have the gall to recklessly pursue their dreams and passions in life. Join thousands of others as we unlock the greatness that dwells inside. Shop dope gear at KOGpassion.com. That's KOGpassion.com. And use coupon code DOPE, D-O-P-E, exclamation point, for 10% off exclusive Unleash Your Dopeness apparel. Act now, sauces are selling fast. But yeah, I mean, that would have been just a cool thing. But I have ideas for DC that can really help. In my opinion, will help them because they stay focused on Batman so much to the point where now Ben Affleck doesn't want to do it no more.
They shouldn't have focused on Batman. Your central character, I personally, I was telling somebody the other day, and you know how we talk about this on Fish and Grits sometimes. We talk about movies and stuff. Yeah. And I was saying my idea was if they had a likable, I don't know what kind of human character you use for John Jones, but start off with him.
I already know who.
Who?
There's two actors I thought of. Jamin Hansu, or he's actually on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He used to play on NYPD. Henry Winkler. I think to me he's already played the detective.
See, I want somebody who I wanted my story. I wanted was John. He was coming to Earth and he was trying to warn somebody about what you call it, and he happens to stumble upon Superman fighting or something like that, and they strike on that conversation, and then that's when he has to recruit these other superheroes and stuff like that. But it all started with him because he's the outsider first, that's first being in. But the Justice League people have already been there,
right.
But things have been established.
I actually like if they would just made a live action version of just the animation movie Justice League War.
That's what they should have just stuck with because that was fun. I thought that was a great jumping point.
Green Lantern goes to Gotham.
Talking crap.
Batman does his typical Batman move.
Yeah.
Take the ring off of him. I like that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and just have that dynamics of Batman, Green Lantern getting on people's nerve. I don't know. See, what I liked about War was it was like Green Lantern was getting on your nerve instead of Flash.
Right. Flash was cocky.
That's what I liked about it. I liked that he was
to
cocky.
me, that's always been the Flash. Flash knows, like, dude, I can vibrate fast enough to change time. Like,
if you try to shoot me, I can dodge these bullets.
Like, there's one comic book scene. It's like it's a firing squad, and they're all shooting, and it's just Flash walking by, just doing that, picking the bullets as they fire, just walking in front of them.
That would be awesome. Yeah, they're going to, because DC keeps talking about doing Flashpoint, but I don't know how you're going to do Flashpoint as dark as that is, and y'all trying to lighten up. Like, you got Wonder Woman and Aquaman going at it and killing, people off.
It's too early. DC has jumped the gun on so many of their storylines. It was way too early to kill off Superman.
That's so true.
It was way too early to bring in Doomsday.
It's too early to bring in Batman.
I mean, it was so much too early. And I want to see Martian Manhunter. I think if DC wants to do something just completely out the norm, I say grab two guys. I think Armie Hammer would be the perfect Booster Gold.
They not gonna Armie Hammer seems like he's so through with DC and just how that Justice League thing fell off with him. He's so salty about that right now.
Hey,
Booster Gold would be nice.
I think let him be Booster Gold. Find another actor. Gosh, yeah, shit. He's Ant-Man now, but he would have been perfect Blue Beetle.
Now let me ask you a question. So I was thinking about this, and now that you said they bringing in Booster Gold, doesn't he leap through time?
Yeah, that's what it was. He jumped back.
What if you had it where Justice League, you start off the movie where Justice League is already established and they're getting killed by Darkseid or whatnot, and then Booster Gold, while each one of them getting killed off, he has to go back in time and like change something up, and then you see how the Justice League came together. But because you wouldn't have to go through origin no more. It's like we already know who these people are. You don't have to go through origin anymore. Like I'm tired of origin movies.
We are, but I mean,
because DC just seems like they're sold on just doing a Justice League movie and then splitting their movies up or whatnot.
Hey, there's still no time date for Green Lantern.
They got to restart. They got to reboot the whole franchise, in my opinion, because they just on a bad foot. Because Justice League bombed. I'm talking about it didn't even make $700 million.
No,
that's horrible.
That is horrible, man.
You have the whole entire DC Justice League that we were just growing up as kids. We didn't even support that in film. Well, I mean, I did, but a majority of people I know who watched that movie, and I really liked that film.
It's okay.
It's stale. It's stale to the average audience member. It's stale. But if you go back and watch the Avengers, it can be stale if you didn't know these characters. But it was the build-up. So the payoff felt good in Avengers, but with Justice League, you had this payoff, but it was no build-up. Like there was no. I didn't believe that Superman was. We all love Superman. When did we love Superman? We just hated him the last film. Wonder Woman, like where's she been? Like she ain't been. She been chilling the cut. And what was that? Dawn of Justice, and now people know who Wonder Woman is now.
Like I forgot what it was. Someone pointed out like all this shit was going on, and Wonder Woman, you just sat by and chilled the whole time.
Batman was just hating people just last movie. Now he's just like, oh man, me and Superman were best friends. What? What did I miss?
Although I did love when he came back, boy.
When he came back, it was nice. I didn't like.
Actually, here's the crazy thing: out of the Justice League in the movie, I enjoyed Superman the most.
I enjoyed Cyborg the most.
I felt they cut too much of that out,
and I hated that because his character dynamic was.
It was very good. It was very important. It was very good, and they cut so much out, and we know that just from the trailers, the stuff that was cut out.
We seen on the trailers, yeah.
So we know that stuff was cut out, but with what we got from the movie, fuck man, I enjoy. Like I said, because we both enjoy Man of Steel. I still say we both agree that it's the best thing from the DCU. As much as people say it's Wonder Woman, here's the thing. Wonder Woman's good, but it's almost a carbon copy of Captain America: First Avenger.
And Superman is just more the mythos behind that, and just the whole, just because the thing I hate about Superman growing up was he was always the goody two shoe. But when you watch Man of Steel, you kind of saw the human side of him, of a guy who's struggling, who's going through life, who's trying to figure it out. He doesn't like we all feel like that some days.
So I love that. And then one thing was. I listened over the weekend. I found a playlist where I just listened to Hans Zimmer. If y'all don't know this is the composer Christopher Nolan likes to work with.
His personal composer for most of his movies.
Yeah, Inception, Interstellar. He did Man of Steel. He did
Dark Knight.
He did Dark Knight.
He did Batman Begins.
Yeah, he did the whole trilogy. He's also worked on The Lion King. He's worked on Pirates of the Caribbean.
He sure did.
He's worked on Band of Brothers. Blue Planet. He's got a lot of work.
He has a nice resume.
And then I heard the stuff he was doing for Superman, and I was like,
how dark they was gonna take it.
Well, no, like when you hear his score without the movie, like I always say I complain that Superman didn't have the feeling of hope. I'm like, but I heard the score, I was like, fuck, I felt Superman.
If you want to be honest, if you go back and look at that not teaser trailer, it was the first trailer that it released. It was right after the teaser trailer, and it was like it had that epic music. And when he first launched the fly,
you see
it was like shit.
And I played that, and that was one of the songs that came out. I was like, fuck, that felt like
that was epic. That felt like, man, that Superman, that Man of Steel should have made $1 billion. If you want to be honest with me, that movie deserved $1 billion because that movie was awesome.
I think it does. I think people were so nervous after that last Superman.
They were so mad that Superman was killing people off, but what I loved it was that it had that conflict where he was just like, he wasn't trying. What was he gonna do? It's like, Zod, let's go fly over here into this empty lot. Like, you ever watch that episode of Dragon Ball Z when they're fighting the androids and they come to the city and there's like, hey, let's go away from the city and fight over here. I was like, what? Is that really what you're gonna do? I'm like, if I'm really trying to kill everybody, I'm not about to fly over there.
Right. I mean, it's crazy, but it deserves to be higher on the profits list. It definitely does.
It should, man. I think that's probably one of the most underrated films, that and Watchmen.
Yeah, like, Watchmen makes me. We'll talk about this after this portion of the show, because this portion of the show is sponsored by us, The Sphere. Are you starting your business and looking for a place to advertise? Do you need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand and sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio. Plus, we have a fast demographic reach within the United States as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. Check us out. It's just, it's oh man. Like, that was one of my things with DC. They just, and it feels like a lot of missed opportunity.
It's a whole bunch of missed opportunity.
Like, honestly, I tell anyone, the one show that I want from DC, it has to be a cable show. I need a show on the Robins.
Who?
The Robins. All four Robins.
Just all
4 Robins. Nightwing, Red Hood, Red Robin, and Damian.
What I really want is, it's like, I just want DC to actually put out good content, because I want DC to, the thing I wanted from DC when they first came out with Man of Steel, I was hoping that was going to be a hit, because I wanted to challenge and combat Marvel, so Marvel could be like, we can't bullshit with our movies anymore. Like, we can't just have these cookie cutter villains and stuff like this. We have to actually draw people in and challenge them in some type of way, because in my opinion, if I'm the head of Marvel, if I'm Kevin Feige, I want to take X-Men to TV series, and I'm going to challenge that, because X-Men is prime for a good TV series, like a good
I think if you do the X-Men TV series,
because look at The Gifted. I mean, look what they're doing with cable, and if you take that to your own streaming service, if you do that, how that, like, Legion and how the Runaways did, and how The Gifted did, man, sky's the limit, man.
If they do that, I can see them doing that with their originals.
That's what I would like, just the originals to have that. And then you can counterpart, because I always said, like, you remember how when they were doing Dark Tower, they were talking about doing a TV show and then also doing a movie. X-Men suits that. You can have a TV show dealing with, the daily,
or you can do the TV show showing, like, how it came to be with the originals and all that. Because, like, if y'all don't know this, because most of y'all don't, the movie's completely fucked up the universe.
At all.
Like, who y'all think the originals are not the originals.
Iceman, Jean Grey, Beast.
Well, he wasn't
Angel.
Beast yet. He was Monkey Boy.
Yeah, Angel.
And Cyclops, because Cyclops was the first one. Jean Grey was the second.
Do that them coming up through, like, high school. I mean, well, just them developing as them, and then boom, have your movie, kick off your movie universe.
Right. Or, like I said, I'll do the movie as them as adults now. But let that TV show stick with the beginning.
Oh, yeah, I would like that.
Yeah.
I would like that. So you don't have to be the same cast. You can be like
You can have a younger cast for the TV show and still have your adults for the movies.
Hey, that'd be bomb. Hey, man, Kevin Feige, come holler at us.
Man. Well, he needs to holler at me anyway, because one of his favorite characters I need on Netflix.
Who?
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight, already.
Moon Knight.
You already know. Moon Knight is where it's at, man. That's what you talking about. That's prime Netflix. Because if you're not gonna go do a Blade, you might as well do a Moon Knight.
I think they're gonna do a Blade.
Blade needs to be done, because he needs to be in.
But with Blade, I want a miniseries. I don't want it Blade by himself. I want the Midnight Suns story.
See, I wanted Blade to be with the with Daredevil and all them, and actually take it dark, because it was like, I love what they did with what were they called?
The Hand.
The hand. Just like picture Daredevil and them having to fight like vampires and stuff like that.
Right.
Jessica Jones, Luke Cage. Man, that would be
pretty dope.
I mean, that would take it a whole nother route that I wouldn't even know.
But
that I wouldn't think of.
But now imagine a miniseries on Netflix. You see these vampires.
How many episodes?
I would actually make this 10. It's 10? Yeah. I'll leave it at 10. Vampires are going around, and there's some kind of unholy union that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But you got vampires and demons.
Mm-hmm.
Blade knows this. He's chasing them.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I got to get some help.
Mm-hmm.
He sits down at the bar. There's this guy with shades. He's like, I can help you because I used to handle that. It's John Blaze.
Mm-hmm.
John Blaze goes, but because he still had access to the Hellfire.
Mm-hmm.
That awakens the Ghost Rider.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got John Blaze, Ghost Rider, and Blade together.
That would be nice. I would like that.
And it will be dark. It has to be
But
dark.
is this Marvel? That's the whole thing, man. Marvel I don't understand how you tippy toe. I don't know how
Well, I don't think they tip. I think with Netflix, they start to push. I think the Punisher was the tipping point. Like they realized that
the Punisher.
To me, their best show on Netflix now. Because as much as I love Daredevil, what they did with the Punisher, my God.
They took him to the route that Daredevil should have went, but Daredevil did a good intro to get it started to see like, ooh, let's see if the people like this or something like that. Now we say
that was the first one, so they had to say like,
we can take a little bit darker.
We can go darker, but let's see,
how we can go. But now you can really.
Now that they got Jessica and like we didn't do so well with Iron Fist, let's see if we can go a little bit darker. I
want Blade, man. I want a Blade TV series so bad, just to see how that dark that can really go, and just how you can really push the envelope. And you remember back in the cartoon, Daredevil partnered up with the Punisher, and they'll be in the van, go take out people.
Well, Daredevil partnered up with a lot of people. I mean, heck, he had a relationship with Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, the rumor now that the movie's getting green lit, and once it's green lit, Scarlett Johansson will make $25 million just for that movie.
For what? The Black Widow movie?
Yes.
But what is it going to be? Is it going to be a prequel? Like
that's the whole thing that her and Hawkeye keep talking about, the issues that sort of led her to enter S.H.I.E.L.D. So while she's the Russian spy that gets over to S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, that's what
that'd be interesting. And she can pull off a younger role too.
And the thing is, I'm like, do you say that one time around this time was when she was messing with a blind lawyer in Hell's Kitchen?
Nah, it ain't gonna go that route.
I wouldn't mind, but Kevin's been trying to get that working. It's just that it's two separate divisions.
You can't even mesh those two because they just so different in tone. They can't even. I don't need neither. I don't need TV division touching the movie division, because if the TV division touches that, then that means that Marvel movies would have to step all their shit up, from villains to storytelling. They can't be cookie cutter no more.
I think some stuff can stay cookie. Like Cap can stay sort of cookie cutter.
But he's not anymore. Like there's like, if you watch like Civil War, that movie is.
I know. To me, right now, he's the most dynamic character in the MCU.
I told somebody, if you take out that airport scene out of Civil War. Yeah. That movie has literally no just silliness going on. There's serious moments in that movie.
I mean, that was a really good moment. It was, sorry, Tony, but he's my friend.
And I'm just like, what?
How do you betray your friend for a friend? Like, that's a very serious thing.
Or when they was talking about, when he was talking to Robert Downey Jr. about checks and balances, and he's like, if we're over here and they check, like, who checks them? Like, who checks? Like, how do you know if you send us to somewhere that doesn't, flourish and like 20 people die, 20 million people die.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to it, man.
So, I like the Russos. I still say, like I said, my favorite MCU movie is always going to be Winter Soldier. So far.
Winter Soldier is.
I think Black Panther got a chance.
Winter Soldier was awesome, and it was my favorite until Civil War came out, because it was just that scene from Black Panther that just, ooh man, that whole chase scene and them fighting with Bucky, and I was just like, them fighting in the hallway.
It's one meme I love in this window of Black Panther was on the roof, and the helicopter
when he was getting shot, and he just raises up.
And the meme was like, I'm sorry, but I'm not Quicksilver.
He's like, excuse me, are these bullets? Are they supposed to hurt me?
Oh, boy. But man, I do appreciate you coming on the show.
Oh, man. No problem.
We're going to go ahead and close this out, because we can probably keep going for
hours and hours.
Right.
Wake up and talk some more about it.
Right. I'm going to get started on that postpartum actors.
Okay.
I think that's going to be a good idea. But appreciate you coming by, man, and thank y'all for checking us out. Make sure you check out the full episode when it drops later this week. Maybe Howard will be back. We might have you back next week as well.
You know, he got the flu.
Yeah. So we'll see. But thanks for checking us out. Make sure you find us on all social media platforms. You know, you got Fish and Grits.
Yes,
Make sure
sir.
you check them out. Good show, but not just about sports, but just about good shit.
It's everything.
Yeah.
All indulgent things for the culture.
Right. So make sure y'all check them out. Make sure you check us out. Follow me on Instagram, Siggy the Lionhearted. Follow Fish and Grits.
281 on Facebook.
Okay.
And you can find us on Instagram and Twitter. All you gotta do is Fish and Grits 281.
There you go. And we appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all next week.
Y'all enjoy.